The last part of my presentation is going to focus on the future of operations, of automation, and AI. And I hope this is something that you'll feel excited about. Nearly everyone watching this, I would imagine, probably knows what an API is, right? An application programming interface. It's a way for different systems to talk to one another, to share data, share functionality. But the thing is, it typically requires a developer to make use of that functionality, to code something that we can use and get benefit from. So one of the questions I had asked the audience was who knew what MCP was, right? And almost nobody raised their hand. And that's okay if you don't know this, because this term, this tech, was only kind of invented around November 2024. So at the time I'm recording this, it's less than a year old and it's only starting to get traction. It means Model Context Protocol. Okay, so the way I explain this is that MCP is like an API layer for our AI tools like ChatGPT and so on. So, for example, with MCP, ChatGPT could pull data from other systems that have MCP as well. So, your Gmail, Slack, your calendar, your PSA platform, for example. So, you can interact with that platform directly through your large language model. Okay. But unlike an API, MCP doesn't need a developer. All you need is a prompt. And at this point, after years of using systems like ChatGPT, we know how to write a good prompt, right? So, why does this matter? It matters because we're coming to a time where we're going to be able to do more with our preferred LLMs. Okay. Not only are we going to be able to get information from our other systems through our LLMs, but we're going to be able to take actions from those large language models. And most excitingly, we're going to be able to do kind of multi tool workflows. So you can ask your large language model to take action or get information across systems. Why am I talking to you about this? And that's because Scoro has just launched their MCP server. So, what does that mean? It means Scoro is now one of those systems that can plug into your large language model, like ChatGPT or Claude. And in fact, we're one of the first PSA platforms to do this. It opens up a whole new way of working with your PSA platform directly through your large language model, right? One of the questions I hear a lot from agency and consultancy folks, especially in operations, is to say, well, there's an AI for everything, for sales, for HR, for creatives, for copywriters. When is there going to be an AI for operations? And until now, that answer hasn't been very clear. But I think this is one of those ways. We're just going to be able to do so much more with the way we work through these tools, through our large language models to orchestrate the work we do. And so I'm talking a lot about this, but I do have a couple of examples to share with you. Okay. So, first of all, this is not ChatGPT. This is Claude. Okay. This is the company that originally invented MCP. It also works in ChatGPT, but for testing purposes, we were using Claude. Okay. And secondly, who's Kadri? That's a colleague of mine. So, that was the one who took this screenshot and was doing this, recording the video I'm about to show you. So if you take a look at that prompt, we're asking the LLM to summarize the feedback from the client for a certain campaign based on the call transcript that's in Google Drive. We're asking it to summarize the feedback and create action items and log them in the Scoro task. Okay, I'm going to click play on that so you can see that happening. Okay. To be honest, it's not the most exciting video because you're just seeing a LLM tick away. But you can see there is collated the positive feedback and the requested changes. And now when we go into Scoro, open the task, the feedback is there, ready for your team to action. Okay. So that's pretty cool. But I've got a cooler example, right? So the next prompt we have is that multi-tool example. We're going to ask it to do some things across a variety of tools. So let me look at the prompt. It says, help me assess this web dev project, how it's going. Use data from Scoro, from Gmail, from Slack, and Jira to document the risks and bottlenecks. Okay. And a follow up prompt says, draft an email to the client to inquire about the design direction and schedule a resourcing meeting on Monday. So I have not included the video of this in this presentation because we don't have 10 minutes to watch it tick along. And also it's super boring to watch. But these are real prompts that have been tested. So this isn't just a pipe dream. It's available to Scoro customers for testing now. Okay. And what I mean by beta is that this is like brand new technology, both for Scoro and generally, right? So every week and every month, there's more and more functionality Scoro is enabling these LLMs to access and actions that they can take through the LLM. So it's only going to get better and better. By the way, I didn't mention security, but you are in complete control, first of all, of even enabling this with Scoro and your LLM. Number two, the permissions you have for your users in Scoro stay intact. So nobody that shouldn't have access to certain financial information can request that through the LLM. And number three, you're in control of what the LLM is able to access from Scoro as well. So you have complete control of what it can access. Okay. So in terms of this presentation, we've looked at resilience and why we need to stop winging it. We've walked through maturity and what that reporting journey looks like as your agency or consultancy evolves and grow. And we've ended with the future, what the future of automation and AI and work is going to look like.